as a guy, yeah, because I can't lie. I don't know shit about guys. I don't know anything that goes on in guys' minds. Like,
well, that's why I'm here. I'm going to tell you the truth.
When you first meet a girl,
yep.
Do you know, like, is it a thing where you know straight away if you're going to wife her, if you're going to be in a relationship, or she's just a fling, or like?
Sure. So there's, I would say there's 3 categories guys will put girls in.
Okay.
There's the one that he's like, okay, I know this is only girlfriend wife material.
Okay.
There's the one where it's like, okay, this is only casual.
Okay.
And then there's in the middle.
Okay.
Right? Which is like, could go either way. Okay. Most girls go in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, when she goes in the middle, it's based on how she dates him, whether he would see her seriously or just see her as something casual.
Okay.
Sure. There are definitely girls that a guy looks at and just goes, this is going to be something casual. I'm not open to anything serious, whatever, right? There's definitely that. And there are some girls, if he knows a girl, like in terms of how she moves, how she carries herself, even if he knows a bit of her, when I say like dating history in terms of how she dates, he might go, okay, I know that's just wifey material, that's girlfriend material. So I know I'm not going to pursue that if I'm not ready for that. Oh. But depending on how a lot of girls go in the could go either way or the casual. And a lot of that is dependent on how she dates him.
Something that you said that is so interesting. I love this because this is why I got to come on here because I didn't even know.
Now she knows.
So guys take into consideration past relationships and things
100%.
that have happened in your life in the past, basically, or how you've been with men in the past.
Yeah, like men do consider a woman's like sexual romantic history, for sure. In terms of, because it's usually as an indicator of the kind of woman that she is and how she chooses to move, right? So in regards to that, you know, they usually say women care about a man's future, men care about a woman's past.
Okay.
You know, like that's why a lot of women want a guy who's ambitious, he's got a plan, he's, you know, he's going somewhere in life, you know, whereas a lot of the time guys are looking at like, okay, you know, what kind of woman is she? Is the kind of woman that I can trust to give my commitment to? Is she the kind of woman who's going to be loyal to me? And not loyalty in terms of she would never cheat, but loyalty in terms of, is she going to stay? Right? Because loyalty for men and women is tested differently. Okay. Loyalty for men is, if he says he's exclusive to you, does he sleep with other women? That's loyalty for men. That's not loyalty for women. Or what I should say is that's not the real test, because generally speaking, right, unless she's operating from a place of trauma a lot of the time, generally speaking, women don't want to be sleeping with more than one guy, right? So if you like a guy, you're like...
I've seen a lot of things in my time, but okay.
No, I agree. There are a lot more women who do today, but from a lot of women I've spoken to, it's because they're operating from a place of trauma and they're using sex to feel loved and for validation, not actually because they're trying to have sex with 3, 4, 5, 6 different guys in the same week. Do you know what I mean? There are exceptions, you know, like Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, sure, they're very exceptional, but most women aren't operating that way. So a woman's test of loyalty is not, does she sleep with someone when she's in the relationship, is, does she leave the relationship?
Okay.
Right? And so a lot of the time when guys are considering like a woman's sexual and romantic history, they're looking at, okay, is she the kind of woman who I know is going to be loyal, who is integral, and that, you know, she's going to be the kind of woman that he can invest his future in? Because when a guy gets to a relationship with a woman, if you're talking about a more traditional dynamic where he's more the masculine one, you're the more the feminine one, which is generally what most, especially women, want, he's taking on a lot of responsibility. So it's like, is this woman taking on that responsibility for? And that's what he's looking for.
But also, I feel like naturally you do things for someone because you want to. Like, I genuinely believe this. I've seen so many people that have never been in relationships, but because they genuinely like that one person, they will do anything they can just to be with that person, to reassure them that I like you, like this is going to be serious. People do what they want to. I think a lot of the time, especially when it comes to women, I'll put my hands on, like, I'll say this myself, like I've seen it, like as a woman, I'm saying this. When a man comes to you, I feel like men are very straightforward most of the time anyway, and they say what they want. So I have so many friends that'll be like, yeah, if a guy says to you, I'm looking for something casual, right? But she's not. And I've realized a lot of the time as well, you know how you have this sort of chase, a lot of that is based off of women's trauma, wanting to go for a man that doesn't appreciate your value, or a man that's basically said to you, look, I don't want to be in something serious, but you still think you can change his mind. But the thing is as well, no, you're not going to change his mind. And actually the man has told you he doesn't want to be with you because it's me saying to you, if I wanted to be with you, I'd know I'd want to be with you. So I'd even say to you, and I'd like you enough for me to trust you and be honest with you and be like, look, at the moment, you know, maybe I don't want something, but I like where this is going. I'm looking for something serious and I'd like for it to go in that direction. But if I said to you, oh, do you know what? Like, I'm not really looking for anything right now. I just want to be casual. He's saying it in a nice way, but he is still saying, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah. If a guy says to a woman, I'm only looking for something casual, believe him. Every time, believe him. Like you cannot change his mind. You will not change his mind, because I'm going to be honest. So, you know, we talked about the 3 different categories that a guy would put a girl in. If he's expressing to her that I'm only looking for something casual, she is very much in that casual zone. And it is very, very unlikely that she will ever change his mind.
Trust me.
That's just the way it is.
But he's literally telling you. Yeah. It's that of course he's not going to change his mind, because he's literally saying
why do you think a lot of women try to change his mind?
That's based off of their own traumas and their own issues. The reason why is because they don't feel valued or appreciated, and women want, just as much as men want that chase, women have a different type of chase. Okay. So women that don't feel appreciated or loved in their life, that could be from parents. Usually it stems from early childhood trauma. That's what I've seen. So they feel undervalued or unappreciated in their home. So they look for love, because everyone needs love. Where do they look for it? In a partner. Now it triggers, I think, abandonment issues, because it's like, why don't you want me? If a man's saying to you, I don't want you, instead of saying, okay, cool, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, that's fine. If I'm not for you,
that's okay,
I'll be for someone else. Or this is what you need to look at. A lot of people in today's society, bro, trust me, they don't rate themselves, because look at the things that you're taking from people. If a guy said to me, oh, you know, I don't want to be with you, or, you know, I just want something casual, I say, that's fine. If you're looking for something casual too, that's fine, because you understand what it is. However, if you're not, then you need to leave, because you can never change his mind. Like, the thing is, right, people, and especially with men, right, look at, sometimes I'd say don't look at the words, look at the actions, but
always
in this
look
case,
at the actions.
Look at the words as well, because he's literally telling you how he feels, and you have to take that for face value.
Do you know what I would say? I would say that always look at a guy's actions, but if he ever tells you something that you don't like, believe him. So if he's like, I'm not looking for something casual, believe him. If he's like, yeah, I'm going to be with you and I'm seeing other people, believe him.
Yeah, but he's telling you the truth. That's like, what I'm saying. He's literally telling you to your face. And that's what I'm saying. It definitely stems from abandonment issues.
But I have a question on that, because I get that. And I think that's definitely true. I think that resonates a lot. But there are also women who are attractive women, right, who get a lot of male attention, but they will still try and change that one guy's mind. So they're already getting a lot of validation and love from guys. It just might not be their first choice, but they are getting that. So why is that woman trying to change his mind? I have a theory, but I want to know what you think.
It's the same sort of thing. I wouldn't even necessarily say abandonment issues, because like you said, they've got a lot of love from everywhere, but it triggers something in their mind which makes them feel unworthy, that they don't like about themselves.
Even if they're already getting a lot of love and validation from other guys.
Yeah, but that's a deeper rooted issue within themselves, because the thing is, like with me, I've learned and grown a lot over the years, and I've always worked on myself, and I love myself to the fullest. Nothing anyone could say to me would affect me in my perception of myself. Sure. So if 1,000 guys liked me and then one guy was like, oh, I don't like you, if I was triggered by that, the key word here is triggered. Something inside of me felt demoralized, devalued, something inside that action hurt me. Why did it hurt you? You have to look at the deeper root. It's like, okay, cool, wait, all these guys like me. That one girl in the story, she's thinking, all these guys like me. Wait, why doesn't he like me? And a lot of the time as well, like we live in a world where, sorry to say, but I feel like social media is such a facade. Like people are showing you parts and aspects of their life that ain't even true. Like behind closed doors, when the cameras are turned off, mate, you don't know what the fuck is going on. It's true. So it's like all these likes and all these things. It's just like for someone to like you for the time, like in real life, You know, you've got 1,000 likes. It's like this girl, she's got 1,000 likes, but deep it, she's still getting triggered because this one guy is valuing her.
100%. I think there's another thing that can be at play at times.
Go on, talk to me.
I think for a lot of women, I think it doesn't happen often when they come across the kind of guy that they actually want. So I think out of like a random 30 guys, maybe 1 or 2 guys that she comes across out of a random 30, she's like, oh, I like him. I can see myself with him. So if she's being casual with that 1 in 50 guys, right? She's like, well, I don't come across the kind of guy that I actually want. I know he says something casual now. I would rather try and change this guy's mind who I want than accept one of these guys that I don't want. And so I think a lot of the time, I think that plays a part as well.
I hear that, but I still go back to my case with, if you genuinely value yourself, it doesn't matter who on this earth is here. And a lot of the feelings that I have in the way I think is also one from self-love, but also my faith in the religion that I follow. Because for me, well, my religion, I'm Muslim, right? And in Islam, we believe that every single person in your life that you meet was meant to meet you at that right time. Like, everything's already been written for us. And God is the best of planners and the best of writers. So it's like, all the people that you meet in that part of your life, you were meant to meet. Some people either a lesson or a blessing. I genuinely believe that. And it's like, all of this comes back with self-worth. When you genuinely love yourself and you know who you are, like, the right person will come for you at the right time. So even going back to me, when you were so shocked, you were like, wait, you've never been with anyone? Yeah, because that wasn't the right time for me. I had to focus on myself, who I am, what I want from life. And now, after 25 years of me learning and growing, finding out who I am now, I feel like I'm in such a beautiful part of my life. If I was to meet someone now, I would be with someone for all the right reasons. I would love that man, treat him how he deserves to be treated. And I now know what a relationship looks like, you know, from people's experiences, my own experiences with men, things that I've seen. So it's like all of that will come at the right time. So it's like, for that girl, because even with me, I agreed with what you said so much, because it's like I said to you, all of these hundreds of guys are DMing me and it's like, I don't, whatever, crackhead knee. And then, joking. And then you see this one guy and you're like, oh my God, you're actually cute.
Yes.
But then it's like, sometimes things are so surface level as well, because this girl that we're talking about, she could look at him and he could tick all the boxes physically, but then when you get to know him, I now have deeped and realized compatibility is such a big thing. Yeah, you like him for what he looks like, but, you know, do you agree with certain things? Like,
similar values, yeah.
Yeah, do you have similar values? Like, is he even funny? Does he tick the boxes that you need on the inside as well? Because it's like, you can like someone externally for what they look like.
Yep.
But then it's like, there's so many other things to take into consideration.
I agree. So let me ask you, would you rather a guy ticks all the boxes on the inside, but not many on the outside? Or he ticks all the boxes on the outside, but not that many on the inside? If you had to choose one, what would you choose?
I hate your ass.
I know, that's why I asked it.
What a question. Oh. Okay, so he doesn't tick that many boxes on the outside, but he ticks many boxes on the inside, and vice versa.
Yes.
Fuck's sake, man. Do you know what? I can't even answer that.
You should be able to answer that because of the growth you just told me that you've done.
It's got to be a 50-50, but yeah, it would be on the inside. It would be on the inside. Fine, it would be on the inside.
Because here's the thing, right? We can have anything we want, but we can't have everything we want.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. Guys have to make that decision too.
Yeah, of course.
There are plenty of girls where guys be like, she's ticks all these boxes on the outside, but she's not done the character work. She's not done the self-development. She may be still lacking in certain maturity in certain areas. That's like, okay, she's great for casual, but this isn't someone I can build with long term.
Yeah.
And so guys often I think guys are more easier to not expect her to be perfect. Whereas I think a lot of women, and this comes to social media like you said, but I think a lot of women are looking for the perfect man, in which, especially if they've been with different guys, they're like, okay, I want all the benefits of all the guys I've been with in one man.
Yeah.
That does not exist. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
I know. It's so true.
It doesn't.
But do you know what? I've got a question, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think you can learn to love someone?
100%.
Because the thing is,
Arranged marriages, you learn to love that person. And ironically, arranged marriages have the highest levels of happiness across all marriages.
Yeah, but that's just because most of them are Asian and they're rooted in their deep values and cultures where they're just like, no, you cannot get a divorce.
Yeah, but what I think it is though, I think what it's more of a reflection on is when they learn how to build a healthy relationship that they're both content with. And they also don't expect the person to be perfect. Because gratitude is the attitude for happiness.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can say that, oh, life is, you could come here and be like, like my life's terrible right now, all of this stuff, but you live in one of the best cities in the world. You look after yourself, you're working, you have a roof over your head, you're here, on a podcast talking about your opinions, views, maybe something's going to come from this. So you have a lot to be grateful for. And when you start looking at things with that lens, you go, wow, like it makes you smile. It elevates your frequency and your vibration. And so I think with a lot of arranged marriages, why their happiness is better is because they understand that they have to build a relationship together. And yeah, sure. To be fair, a lot of the time there's no option of them of getting out, right? And so it's like, I can't leave this. So it's like, look, we can't leave each other, so we're going to live the rest of our lives together.
Yeah.
So let's make this work and let's make it good. And when people come with that energy, that's when they build something amazing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, compatibility is a really key thing here because you could have that mindset, but if the other person doesn't have that mindset at all, it can be very destructive.
I agree. And what I think is that with arranged marriages, they both have that mindset, which is why they report the highest level of happiness. I think today, especially in our Western world and culture, we don't have that mindset.
Yeah.
Because we have more freedom to choose the kind of person we want to be with.
Yeah.
But we have the highest level of divorces and marriages are going down anyway as well. 50% of women over the age of 30 are single and childless, right? And it's even more so for guys. So I think we approach marriage and relationships with the idea of, here's the thing. I think people think if I find a great person, I have a great relationship. And that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like finding a great person doesn't mean you have a great relationship.
Exactly.
Because finding a great person is kind of like planting a tree. You can have the right seed, but if you don't know how to water it, give it the right nutrients, give it the right levels of sunlight, if you don't know how to nurture that, it's not going to become the tree that you want it to be, no matter how amazing that person is.
Yeah.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.